Great to see you, Coach. Thanks for joining us. First things first, I'll ask you, you said something before we came back, and that was that you were able to see the players for the first time in person and interact with them. You want to just share with everyone how that felt?
Yeah, it's really out of the norm because we were, as coaches, not allowed to interact with the players until today. So although they've been in town training in smaller groups, they've been led by our development staff, and we were not allowed to have contact. So although we have masks on today and it's still a lot of social distancing going on, at least I've been able to greet all the players that are coming into camp, and the energy being exchanged right now here is very, very high, and we're really excited. And you start feeling some sense of normalcy by seeing the players, by walking through the locker room, and there will be hurdles that we need to jump through to get the work done, but at least we're kicking off here today. It feels fantastic.
Coach, are you going to be wearing a mask on the bench? I know there's going to be protocols. Some do, some don't. Like, is that already set, or you guys are just going to feel it with the scrimmages and practice?
So we'll be fine during scrimmages and practices to be without masks. We need to keep distance away. You will see that we've set up a meeting space in the end zone of the rink, of the KeyBank Center at the loading dock. That almost looks like a NFL football meeting space. And we've got that we'll be going to as a pre-practice space. And then halfway through the practices, we'll do a little teaching opportunity there. And then on the ice, keeping distance. But on the benches during games, the present mandate has us wearing masks as we stand behind the players and coach them. So let's see, these protocols are still moving targets, but with Marty, with the information I have right now, we're gonna have to wear a mask.
Lots of spitting when you're yelling, Coach, at the players for not getting pucks deep or proper dumps, keeping them away from the goalie. Coach Ralph Krueger joining the Instigators here. Camp starts today. Physical start today. You got to see the players today. We know the practice schedule, and we know tomorrow you guys are on the ice. What does your practice plan kind of look like to get these players ready from the first day to your first game against the Capitals?
Well, we are concentrating on the group that we would be starting a potential game tomorrow with, already having them together. And you all know that usually there's some games with lines and this and that and everything. But when you come to practice tomorrow, you're gonna see some formations already that will make sense and be logical. And we'll have we have a gold group and a blue group, and the blue group will have reduced numbers, but it's players that could move up and down, and we're going to have that right off the bat. And we've got 3 days of awakening the good things from last season. Strategically, we want to keep it simple and keep the messages clear, and we'll get into our first inter-squad game on the 4th day. And then we'll do the same thing again after a day off on the 5th. We'll again have 3 days of training with double sessions, with ice being cleaned in the middle. And then we'll have another game day on the 9th, which we will simulate everything that would be regularly an exhibition game. They might only have 3 lines and 6D on a team, but we'll just take a little bit longer. But we're going to run 3 time 20-minute games. And then we'll skate on the 10th. The 11th will be off. And then 12th, 13th will be the final tune-up before we play Washington here at home. So that's the training camp schedule.
Ralph, when you're looking at, you spoke yesterday to the media on Zoom, and you talked about the core group of players that are coming back to this lineup. There are a lot of new faces, a lot of key faces that are going to be coming into the lineup, and this is going to be a shortened camp. How important it is for you and your coaching staff to get these players to understand the PK format, the power play format, the system format. There's a lot of new players that are going to be key players in the lineup. Is there a concern that there's just not enough time?
We feel we have plenty of time. The interesting thing is everybody's saying short camp, but you usually don't go 13 days in a row without traveling or having exhibition games against other teams. You usually would not have this small number of players in camp. So it's quality versus quantity here right now. And we feel really comfortable. We've got every single day the teaching pathway planned until the second game on the 9th, exhibition inter-squad game. And we feel we'll get all the information through the way we want to play with and without the puck, through the specialty teams, face-offs, everything. And one of the big advantages we have is we are not writing a new story here. We're continuing this story. We liked a lot of things that were going on here last season, and we're taking the good with. We've had time to figure out what we need to adjust and tweak and sharpen, but this isn't rebuild. This is continue and just get the guys back to where we were in March, the group that's established. And the other guys we've had more contact with than you usually have, with Zoom meetings. A couple of the players have reached out already to assistant coaches and did video meetings over Zoom. So I feel we're way beyond the normal starting position, and we're extremely comfortable. We think we have just the right amount of time. I'm happy we have those extra 4 days. I think they're extremely valuable. I would find the other pathway a little bit tight and short, but you know what? Any longer than this without games would be too long, and the guys would get stale and lose the freshness and the energy that we're feeling right now. So I tell you the truth. My national team past had a lot of 10 to 14 day training camps. It just was kind of a big part of my life for more than a decade. So, I'm sitting here really happy with what we have.
Instigators, Ralph Krueger joining us here on WGR Sports Radio 550. We talked a lot about the schedule this morning. Do you look at the schedule with the changes that have been made? And Jack actually commented yesterday on how many close games you guys had last year with good teams, by the way. So with the changes that are made, do you look at the roster or the schedule and say, and your roster, and say, there isn't a team we can't beat?
I 100% agree with that statement, that we have the group staying healthy to win on every given night. Last year, we had so many good games, especially against good teams and teams that are now in our division, where we didn't have the depth to finish the deal and get it done. And for us, there's a healthy confidence here right now. And I embrace that statement completely, Andrew. We can win on every single given night, and we just need to do everything possible to stay healthy. We need to stay within the protocols. We need to be extremely disciplined when we leave the rink, which is going to become a very safe atmosphere. We will be in a sort of a bubble, but we are in the National Hockey League trying to get this done with players still being able to interact with their families. We're going to travel, and within that framework, we need to be as good as every team in the NHL. So hockey can then take place within that disciplined lifestyle that we need to form around the game.
Ralph, you talked about the schedule, and PD mentioned, are you looking at the first 10, 15 games as really a place to be separating yourself from other teams? And if you look back at 2012, 2013, you were with the Edmonton Oilers. There was a 48-game schedule, and the top 9 teams in the league that year were in the top 10 after 15 games that season. Is that where the focus is at?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, it's hard to believe that we are beginning on the 14th of January and we will play 10 games in January. So, the way we manage that, and it will help that we are a team that communicates really well. Everybody lays everything on the table, whether the players, the coaches, it's always out there. So we will monitor the sports science side of the athletes more than ever before to make sure that on the between game days, we're outstanding. Because Marty, what you said is so important. You need to get off to a good start here. This is going to be a tough one if you start chasing early in the schedule. Do we need to be right at the top? No, but you got to be strongly over 500 at the 10, 15, 20 game mark to be, we can all do the math. If you're strong into 500 and above, you're going to be in a good position, and that's where we need to put ourselves at the beginning.
Where exactly is the mindset going into this season? Now, obviously, the players that are coming back, you spoke about the core, extremely strong core. The additions that Kevin Adams and yourself made coming into this lineup strengthens in all areas, whether it's the first, second, third, fourth line, the defense core. At what point in time, like if I were to ask the Washington Capitals, if you don't make the playoffs year, that would be a bust season because they expect to make the playoffs. Where is the mindset with your group right now with making the playoffs? Is it a boomer bust type atmosphere with these players?
It'll be too early for me to give you the assessment of what the group is going to emulate for emotions towards that kind of goal setting. I think that is a subconscious goal of everybody here. There's not even a question about that. The comments you all heard after we ended our season March 12th were clearly along the line of many good things happening, but end result not acceptable, and we take responsibility for that. And we all know what that end result needs to be. Our division has 6 teams that believe they have a free ride to the playoffs, which is not mathematically possible because we want to disrupt. And that means that already 3 of those teams aren't going to get there. But we all know which 6 teams I'm talking about. And there is a swagger there. But right now, this group is just showing in every way, shape, or form, first of all, as individuals, but also as I feel the dynamics here today, a lot of confidence and belief in the moves we made this summer, that they were the right moves. When I walked through that dressing room and I bumped shoulders with Eric Stahl, and I end up in a corner with Taylor Hall, Cody Eakin with his swagger, Toby Reeder with his confidence, and Matt Irwin as a character, it changes the mix and it pushes it in the right direction. And then we've got some youth pushing hard. If you look at Brandon Davidson coming in here, Bryson Borgen on defense up front, we've got Dylan Cousins still sitting out at the Worlds. Middlestat, hungry as hell, coming in and with a great finish after Rochester.
How's he look, Coach?
Really good. Really, really looks fit, looks strong, looks light, looks ready and hungry. I like his mindset in the conversations we've had lately. Have you been talking to the players a lot during this time about preparation, what to do, what to expect, their opportunities that are laying in front of them and things like that? Yeah, 100%. We looked at so many different ways of pushing buttons. So the main button pushers were Ed Gannon and JT Allaire, and that was on the daily fitness. We had coaches Zoom meetings. We've been sending out emails. There's been text messaging going on. Like we tried not to kill them with communication, but I think we found the balance there. But for sure, we've been setting subliminal messages out through the whole stretch here. And again, the feedback has been exciting. So what's the big test today that will give you the clearest indication of guys that are ready to rock? Yeah, I mean, today we don't spend. I mean, they're going through all kinds of league Zoom meetings. You know what? The concussion protocols and all of those things need to be cleared up today. We go at it tomorrow. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, kickoff on the first meeting, and it's going to be all about hockey. And I know I'm going to see you guys here in the trenches, or at least over my laptop. I don't know if you're allowed in the trenches, but I'll give you clear feedback. But
we never were allowed in the trenches, Coach. They don't allow guys like us in there.
So no VO2, no wind gate, no physical testing like that today?
No. There's all kinds of it would, Marty. This would be like a day off for you. Coming to training camp, and they're gonna pinch. They're gonna, if you could stand up and no, don't. But they would pinch your waistline right now. They would they'd be checking your hand strength. I mean, I was saying, don't get the heartbeat up too high here, guys. It's like.
Well, I would imagine the younger kids have stronger grip because they hang on to those video game controllers so tightly.
Yeah. No, but we've got some interesting situations coming ahead of us here. But I think to your question there, it's going to be, we're expecting, I think I told you this a few months ago on one of the media calls in the summertime already, that we we didn't play those playoffs. So this is the first crack at that emotional explosion, and we got to make it work for us.
Coach, I think we got to let you go. We have a time limit with you professionally, right? But appreciate your time. I'm sure you don't want to come on and tell us what the lines are going to be.
No, but then that would be boring. Let's do it in 2020.
Well, are you prepared? Like, do you know what's going to happen? Like, do you ever think about this? Like, tomorrow. Oh, there they are. We can pause that. We can pause that.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around to the Instigators. Coach Krueger waved the lines at us. We're going to have the guys in the studio pause that, zoom in. I'm going to know your lines by 10:50, Coach. Tune in. I will say this, though.
I trust you guys so much. And
Don't. This is a big breaking moment for us because the questions, like, are you prepared for the explosion? As soon as 3 guys come out wearing, like, you can screw everybody over for the first little bit of practice if you just have everybody in the same color. You know what I mean? People are going to be like, well, they're just doing flow drills and they're all in the same color. We don't know who's playing with who or what are they doing? It would be... Yeah.
Isn't that a joke? Isn't that a joke when you think of the pregame skates where coaches do the one color and as if the other team doesn't know who those people are in the color?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like, well, we had, I remember
Petey,
we had
you're on the first line today, Petey. Go out there. First
Marty,
line,
do you remember when we were in Boston and Lindy wanted shaking the lines up completely? So it was me and Mare skating with Briere and you had like the lines were completely mixed up to throw everybody off. Head games everywhere. Coach, before you go, I just wanted to say one more thing. Unbelievable sales pitch to Taylor Hall, by the way, in that Hall in. You could honestly sell me a pair of 32-inch waist jeans. I mean, I'm serious. And I don't need 32-inch waist jeans, Coach. I'm telling you right now, you could sell me those jeans and I would wear them. I really would. That was a lot of fun.
Congratulations. Good luck.
I'm going to take that as a crazy goodbye gift 2020 from you.
That was a great compliment. That was a very, very good compliment. And a backhanded compliment to me too, I think. Anyway, Coach, thanks for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you, gents, and everybody have a good finish here, and let's look forward to a wonderful year next year together. Sabres are back.
Happy New Year,
Coach.
Yep.
Take care.